Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I got a video for you. It's going to mainly focus on comp and just PvP in general, but mainly in comp. I finally grinded all the way up to Ascendant 0. Not doing anything cheesy like those Invis hunters running RDMs or even Solar Warlock. I did it all with Void Warlock and a hand cannon and a sniper. So that was grueling and painful, but here we are. The current state of PvP, if you've been playing, I don't have to tell you that it's not in a great place. Invis RDM Hunter is running extremely rampant, and it is increasingly frustrating that Bungie hasn't done anything about it, but it is what it is. I personally don't think Invis is that much of a problem. I would say RDMs are the true culprit and need the bigger nerf. Although I will say, once that happens, it's just going to be the next thing up. If you haven't seen one out in the wild yet, Tripmine Solar Hunter is pretty fucking good. The problem is no one's using it right now because everyone's on RDMs because it's so easy to use, especially paired with Redrix or The Last Word or specifically Lodestar, which seems to be the worst thing ever to exist in my opinion. I will say it is increasingly frustrating as a Warlock main, considering the only thing we've had good recently was I mean, we have a lot of stuff that's good, don't get me wrong, but the last thing that was oppressive and broken was the speaker sight helmet, and as you know, that got nerfed during the weekend of the first trials that it was introduced. So it's a little obnoxious that hunters have been able to roam free with this Invis RDMs, and before that it was Titans with Shiver Shake Punch with the Diamond Lance spawn, and before that it was Prismatic Hunters that they let go for what felt like the entire season of Echoes. So it's a little frustrating, but hopefully they'll do something about it. I know they're a little caught up with Marathon right now. I feel like just looking at player pop diminishing and looking at the usage rate, which let me be clear, I know usage rate isn't always the main culprit. Like Solar Warlock is always the #1 Warlock, and I mean, I don't think it's in a terrible place. If you ask anyone else that isn't a Warlock, they'll probably disagree. I personally am not very good with Solar Warlock, so I don't ever really play it. Maybe that's because I'm on console and controller. I'm just not very good at float lock. And I swear, I like the Icarus dash skate thing is just beyond me. I think that's the way I have my controls preset, but it is what it is. I main Void, so is what it is. But it's increasingly frustrating as a Warlock seeing just hunters always be on top just for that. Which, I mean, I guess they feel bad because they're kind of useless in PvE, but is what it is. The main thing I want to talk about today, though, is comp. And if you haven't noted, they have the new emblems with the Umbral Echelon, and I don't even remember the normal one for Ascendant. I have it on all the time now, but everyone's going for the Umbral Echelon, so much to the point that there are multiple cheaters doing it, and there are people that are win trading for it. So it's an emblem that's pretty sought out. It's very rare. I believe it's one of the rarest emblems in the game currently, and most of the ones that have it didn't get it legit, so it becomes even rarer after that. Once they go through and maybe revert. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but we shall see. One thing I want to talk about is ways that we could get the comp playlist more populated, which, as I say that, I want to also say it has been the most populated, at least in my time that I've played comp in Destiny, especially in the Ascendant bracket. Like, I find matches so fast, mainly because everyone's chasing this emblem. But I know there are a lot of problems for the comp playlist that I want to talk about. I've laid a couple out here and I want to go over them and what I think could possibly make it better, especially in hindsight of the Trials rework we just had that seemed to bring a lot of people to the playlist. Although a lot of them have gone away now because we're starting to get guns that people already have. That's a different problem for a different day. If you want to see something about that, maybe look at my last video I made. I actually kind of addressed that, but today is specifically going over comp. So let's get started. One, I think we need better comp rewards. Right now you get the Redric S stock, which everyone got handed basically the God roll. Like, if you use any other role than that, that's just dealer's choice. Like that's just up to you. But let's be honest, the Sword Logic one that they gave you for free is probably the best one you're going to get, and I think it could just be because the stats are so juiced on it. Like, I've had one other drop that's gotten like somewhat close to the stats that one has, and it's still not better. Like, and it's like I got like a kill clip one with like everything else was the same, but yet it still had like less stability, less handling, and it was literally like barrel for barrel, ammo for ammo. The only thing that different was the kill perk. So I don't know what that exactly means. It just, like, I feel like they gave us a juicer, and that is what it is, so I don't know if it's really worth it. Other than that, like, Artifice Armor, there are only, like, two... I'm not sure. I haven't done a Master Raid in a while. I don't think Artifice is in Master Raids. I know it's in Master Dungeons, because that's where I got all mine. Duality, represent. But I will say, comp is probably the easiest way for you to get Artifice Armor if you get up to the correct rank. I feel like it's definitely easier than doing a master dungeon, especially for beginner players. And I have a suggestion that I feel like would help. I know the beginning part for new player experience is always an issue, that it's not very good, and like it kind of leaves more to be desired. And I do think this is where comp could actually help a lot. One thing I would like to see maybe is, right now I believe you only get Artifice Armor once you are past gold or plat, and you get that on. You get a guaranteed one after you get however many games, wins, whatever. You get one free drop. Then after that, if you get a win, you have a chance to get it. I don't know why we're trying to keep Artifice Armor at this point in the game, to be perfectly honest, when so much other stuff is power crept. As you know, if you've ever been a new player, the big problem that, like, new players could be great at the game, but if they don't have the right gear, especially when it comes to like armor stats and min-maxing, it's not going to help them a lot, especially in like end game content when we're talking about like raids, solo dungeons, Trials of Osiris, comp, like the stuff that's actually like kind of fun if you're a competitive person and like to challenge yourself. You need the right gear, you need the right armor, and making exotics be able to have Artifice was a great change, and then giving access to Artifice Armor was great. However, I think we should maybe go ahead and make it so it's not rank based, where anyone, like even if you're bronze or copper, you can get Artifice Armor from this current strategy of you play your 3 games, you get the gun. You play 3 more games, you get Ascendant Alloy. Then you get 2 wins, and you get Artifice Armor. And then after you do that, any win has a chance to drop Artifice Armor. I feel like everyone should be able to access that, not just, I think, like I said, I don't remember if it's gold or plat, but one of the two. Like, once you get to that rank, that's the thing. It should be accessed all the way down to like copper, if I'm being honest, because that could help them get out of that bracket. Now, I don't want to just give them armor for free, obviously. So I think in that situation, we should also make it so how we get weapon focus for past weapons. You get, like, if you're Ascendant, like for me, I get 7 focuses a week. Maybe put Artifice Armor in there as well. And that counts as one of my 7, like, so I don't have to just, so I go there, say I'm focusing a deadlock, I'll focus like 2 deadlocks, and I'll focus like 5 chest pieces, because I'm trying to get a better chest piece. Actually, for me specifically, I focus 5 arms, because I'm trying to get better arms for some of my builds that I use. That would be huge for the community if we had that kind of reward system. It would help so much, I feel like, because everyone would actually chase that, because Artifice Armor is pretty good to have. I think it'd be a great thing to do. Here's where I have a little bit of a hot take where it comes to comp. I think we should have dedicated maps with dedicated game modes. First of all, we should probably get another game mode. I don't know what that should be. Maybe it be Countdown, where you have the 2 bombs, or some other objective-based game mode. And while we're at that, we should probably make it so certain maps play on certain game modes, and it shouldn't be just this RNG of all these maps that they keep giving us that probably shouldn't be in comp. Like, dude, why is Exodus Blue in the comp playlist? Because it's there. I've been on it. It's in the playlist, and I don't understand why. There should be like a certain amount of maps for Clash, like a Jav 4, like the smaller maps are Clash, and then when you have the control mode, Collision, you should make it on maybe mid-sized maps to smaller maps, and then who knows what you want, forget that road, but add another one. And it should be transparent, like we should be able to see what maps are in rotation. I don't know if that means we need to change it season by season, daily, weekly. I know that's extra work for the devs, but like, you can make the comp playlist really good if you do that. Another one, and this is the biggest hot take I probably have, gun reworks, where if you play any other competitive game mode, like COD, or because I've played COD ranked a lot, or any other ranked play lists, there are things that are just like banned that you're not allowed to use, and they make it standardized for everyone. For example, I would say we should probably, when you queue up comp playlist, if you have a gun on that has precision instrument, kill clip, memento mori, Hawkmoon, maybe disable those perks. Along with that, there should be a list of like guns we're allowed to use. Like we should be able to use like auto rifles, pulse rifles, hand cannons, SMGs, scout rifles on certain maps, but other than that they're locked. Special weapons like glaives, no, get rid of them. Like keep shotties, fusion rifles, like very basic stuff that could help a lot. Lastly, I know it feels like beating a dead horse, but we gotta talk about lobby balancing, because it is really rough, especially like in trials, but in comp it feels like if you're the good player, you are constantly getting the bad players in the lobby, and that is just not fair. It is like, I understand like if they put like, I actually, skill-based matchmaking, if it worked correctly, where they put 6 players of even skill against each other, that would be it. But that's not what the skill-based matchmaking does, or rank-based matchmaking. Currently what it does, and you see it in trials, it puts the good player with 2 bad players and all the mid players on the other team. Maybe 1 bad player on the other team, but there's at least 2 mids that will gang up on the 2 bad players, and then it's you fighting a 1v3. We need to address that. It needs to be addressed. It is a problem. It happens every trials weekend. It happens in comp. So, if you've made it this far, I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe so you can get more videos. If you like these videos, please let me know in the comments. If you have any thoughts yourself, please let me know in the comments as well. Don't be afraid to share this video if you think it'll help anything. But thank you for watching. Hope to see you out in the Crucible and GG's. Hopefully we have a good trials weekend. See you out there, guys.